Yeah, reggae music is a genre of music that was created in Jamaica, and it has got a number of subgenres. And some of the subgenres include dub, which was pioneered by people like King Tubby, and as well as dancehall, which was pioneered by people like Hugh Roy. But as time went on, reggae music began to have some subgenres in other countries as well. For example, there's reggaeton in countries like Puerto Rico, reggae en Espanol from countries like Panama. There's also even hip-hop. Hip-hop has got some reggae roots as well, because hip-hop came from dancehall, and dancehall is a subgenre of reggae. And here in Africa, we've got reggae from South Africa, which was pioneered by people like Lucky Dube. And before I move any further, I need to describe what a subgenre is. A subgenre is a subcategory of a music genre. It takes its main characteristics from the main genre, but it also has its own characteristics that differentiates it from the main genre. So today the subgenre that I want to talk about is purely Zimbabwean, and it was pioneered by a group called Zig-Zag Band. And what they did is they combined elements of Zimbabwean Mbira guitar, if you know this style. This is typically Zimbabwean. Some call it Chimurenga, some call it Mbira guitar. So they combined these elements with Jamaican reggae and created a subgenre of reggae music that is purely Zimbabwean. And they decided to call it Chigiyo. So before I go any further, I would like to thank Gilbert Jamaida for giving me the information. Most of the information that I'm going to give you today, I got it from Gilbert Jamaida. He is now the guitarist for the Blacks Unlimited, which is led by the living legend Thomas Mapfumo. So Zig-Zag Band was formed in December 1981 in the city of Kwekwe here in Zimbabwe, and it was formed by Gilbert Jamaida together with a number of his friends. And first of all, the band was mainly doing covers. You know what are covers? What we call copyright music in Zimbabwe. That's a very wrong term, but we'll discuss that on a different topic. Kuna music, not copyright music. It's called cover versions. Okay, so they were mainly doing cover versions, like most groups of that time. And it was in 1983 when Emmanuel Nkomo joined the band. He was a vocalist. That's when they started creating their own music. Then in 1986, Oliver Mtukudzi heard about Zig-Zag Band, and he went to ask them to back him on his tours and on his recordings. So they worked with Oliver Mtukudzi for 2 years. In 1987, whilst they were still working with Oliver Mtukudzi, they recorded their first song, Gomara Masare, as a single, and it was a huge hit, and that's the song that introduced the whole of Zimbabwe to Chigiyo. And then in 1988, they parted ways with Oliver Mtukudzi because of some disagreements. And you know me, I don't want to go in politics in my band, so I won't say anything about the disagreements. So they carried on a Zig-Zag Band, but as time went on, some members of the band passed away, and Gilbert later on joined Mukanya. But I don't know if they are aware of the impact they made to the Zimbabwe music industry, because right now there are a number of artists who are following in the steps of Zig-Zag with their Chigiyo sound, and one of them is one artist that I record here. Is called Hebron Mashengwe. He's a very good vocalist. And one thing that is very good at is that Shona yodeling style. Yet not Hureya when that is one key element of Chigiyo, because Chigiyo combines reggae rhythms Mbira guitar and that Zimbabwean style of singing that is very common with Mbira music. And Hebron is very good with it. And we also know the group Joyful Praise Choir. They did Gomore Minana, and it's an adaptation of Gomara Masare, which they did in their own way, and it became a huge hit as well. And right now in Zimbabwe, there are a lot of bands that are playing a number of Zig-Zag songs. The most popular one these days is Mukundu. So I asked Gilbert, how does he feel when he sees youngsters following in their footsteps, and he says it's an honor, and he's very happy that he created something that is being emulated, that something that is being copied by youngsters. So to Nkoma Giza, you did a very good job in creating that style. So as usual, I'm going to end with a jam session. This time I'm not going to reverse engineer any song. I'm just going to create my own version of Chigiyo, my own interpretation of Chigiyo. So enjoy.
Monosphere Studio, the harmony of quality and professionalism.